Nothing?
Nope, I'll skate back over there.
Welcome to stay, you know that.
That's okay.
It's just running late.
That's the final version of the road. What they're gonna use. Each township. We met over here at the Pioneer Building Friday and give each township a copy of theirs, just with their township plus one of these, so they could study it. And then I suggested that the engineering firm with Nextera and the township rep or two, whatever, go drive the roads. I know they're gonna film them, but I said drive them yourself with these people all together.
That's what I think.
And get a good idea and get a good feel for what they wanna do and how they wanna do
I
it.
appreciate that, that's good. So these here roads are the heavier?
All the purple is a heavy load. And a lot of those would just be used just to get the heavy stuff in.
Yeah.
Then after that, see, they can go back on these here.
Yeah.
Once
They get unloaded.
they won't really use this no more, like this one. That's just to get stuff in there. Only
This is
time
what
they,
it's gonna be used mostly.
yeah, and they can't see where it's in orange, that's 40,000 and under.
So there's evidently a bridge in
There is, and it'll handle 40,000 pounds. So empty, they can go back, but full, they can't, so that's why they're dancing around that one. Same way over here, there's another one over in here, same deal.
So a lay down, that means they're gonna put a deal across the road.
That may
Build
be
the road up, that's where the
well, but
transmission line.
no, that may be where they're gonna have all their poles, whatever, that could be for their, because the proposed, lay down yard is up here.
Staging.
Station, there's substation.
That's the substation, but over here, where am I at, where's Corning at?
Corner's right up here.
Okay, you're going over here, they're gonna have, right there, on Dobbins, is where they're gonna have their lay down. Right off and 9, go up our road and then turn in. And that's where they'll store stuff, whatever. This one down here, I think, is for the or the transmission line.
Okay,
Proposed
probably
lay
right.
down here, I think that's for the transmission.
I bet this red thing is the transmission line.
It is. These are all underground lines here, these red ones here.
Did you have a pretty good meeting, yeah? Yeah, I know, I talked to a couple of them, called me and said they couldn't come. I said, well, as long as you get one
Yes, and
we was one of your guys there at least. I said, one of them needs.
I think Red Vermillion was the only one. We didn't have anyone there. The weather was kind of nasty.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
But, did you get one of these?
Did not.
So if we set this up over here, if you want to take pictures of this, you're more than welcome. I think we've got some extra. Bruce, you got any extra of these
I didn't
over
bring
your
any
office?
extras.
Huh?
I didn't bring anything.
Okay.
Did the electronic version of it.
Not that I'm aware
We
of.
don't have all the
Electronic version of this? No.
Unless it's.
Not with me.
Probably will, I'm sure, at some point in time.
Get it. I'll get two of my dad.
Who?
I was gonna say, I know there's probably a few people that'd like to see some copies if we could make them, you know, down there at the appraiser's office or something, so.
We sent them all out with all the township officials that day. We had like 15 copies there, and we just kept handing them out to those guys, so they had one. I guess I didn't think about it. Did you get any over here? You didn't get one over here.
So Betty had the capability to copy something this big?
Betty would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't, but she can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
see if Bruce comes up with something else there.
Did you say you have it by township also too, or?
They handed out, each township had their own, now it didn't have all the lines on it or the tire turbines on it. It just had what roads they were gonna use in those townships as a heavy or construction route. Right, Bruce, on the townships, it was kind of a page out of your, or plat book, and then they marked on there which roads they would be have to enhance per se to make, so they could get down. Nine down.
There's 9.
Oh, okay, yes.
There would be the top of the hill, that'd be Frank. This would be Frank, so that's really not gonna be used as a haul around. Which one is this?
64th.
See, it would be.
You want to set that phone over here, Gary?
I'll get it. I don't have it on.
James will be calling in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks.
What township is that, do you know?
Illinois.
There's 64 Claus right here. That would be the old working place,
Okay,
right?
so that's just north of Frank's. And that's a Jim Showing off this corner. Okay, this is what they're talking about that they think it's
Well, I
there.
don't know if you want, Greg, he's got the electronic, you want him to,
Oh,
Send
this
that.
would be the big map.
But
You want the big map distributed now? I think that's its final.
what do you mean, the big map?
This would be the one like they've got
Same
right
one.
there.
But it's like a PDF of it?
It takes pretty good size printer.
He's wondering who to send that to. I mean, you can send it to me, but I can't print it.
Can we send it on?
Or you want me
I'll
to send it?
send it to me and then we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have it, you got to
No,
go
I
for
don't
it.
have the final. I got one, but I don't have the one stamped final.
Okay.
Bob did.
I'm not sure there's much of any changes from the one they had, the other, not much.
No.
About the same.
Yeah, Bob. Can you send me
well, it's just the idea that you get them
black map and stamp?
so we know what bridges are involved. That's the main thing.
Send it to Rinkus Scout. You got Rinkus Scout or Gmail?
That's the one they're gonna jump.
On High Road, Tim, yeah.
Somebody what with it?
They'll jump, put a jump bridge on that one temporarily, and then when they're done, whatever, we'll put a bridge in there later on.
The two
Who's that?
located ones up here to the north.
They're
they've
little
got
culverts,
that.
well, they're little small deals they're gonna put tubes in.
How did they get over to that high road with the heavy haul?
Send me that township.
Well,
See, because here it's not,
here,
here it's
evidently up
not.
here,
They're coming in from the north, come
All
all the way
down.
south. See, they could come over if they had another mile. Then they're short a mile, oh, they could come over here over up.
they can.
And then come down, I guess they could do that. Depends on which way they're bringing stuff in, I guess that's their decision.
And see, they're showing for these feeding on 75 over there.
Can't they feed in on that I road off of 24th, right there?
No,
Well, they can, but they can't get off 63.
No,
See, and that's what I said, they'll have to come in all the way from north.
I think
Because
they're
if they was
closed.
coming out,
We'll watch it.
good morning.
Morning.
James, how are you?
All right. A little snowed in and cold, but that's all right.
What we got going today, James?
Well, we need to go over the changes to the road use agreement, and we need to talk to, hopefully Bruce is there,
Yes.
about your meetings, see if we've reached an agreement, and then we need to discuss the ongoing maintenance obligation. So, pretty lengthy executive session, I would suspect, so I would go in for at least an hour and a half.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Be 10:45.
Second that.
Moved and seconded to go to executive with our attorney for an hour and a half. Any other discussion about that? None, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 10:45. Okay, well, no action taken, we're still negotiating road agreement. Work in progress.
But the whole route is fine.
Finalized, yes. The heavy haul, well, all the whole route, yes. There's the heavy haul and you have the construction route. And how many bridges are affected and how many culverts and all that's pretty well spelled out. There's gonna be some culverts that may rise up whenever they start traveling those, you know, they inspected them, but it's possible that there's a few culverts will have to be replaced. You know, if something happens, if it's, for say, with all the rain we had, undermined and you can't see that, you know, they've crawled down there and looked at every one of them so far, but there could still be some issues out there with culverts, but that'll be explained in the road agreement that they'll have to be taken care of.
Do you happen to have a list of the bridges that'll be included in the negotiations or whatever? Because I noticed there's only one noted on the map.
There's 3 total.
Or at least that
I can't
see.
remember the numbers now. Dennis had that with him.
I didn't write it
It's in
down.
my office, just sitting
Okay,
there.
I didn't write
he
it
does
down.
have the numbers.
Bruce would have them all, for sure.
Did you write that? I want you. It wants the 3 bridges. Got it.
I was just curious if there was only one that I could find the.
20, I think, on High Road, yeah. There's 2 other, what are the numbers on those?
3 on High Road, 10 more replacements.
But was there 2 other bridges besides the
Yeah, one in
one?
Red Vermillion Township, R41.
Okay, R41,
Which is south of Corning and west.
it's in Red Vermillion.
And what other one?
I-20 and 22, I think, yeah.
I think I-22, yeah, I-20 and I-22.
But they'll be all along I Road.
N8.
N8.
R9, R41, that's bridges. I-20, I-22, and P-44 is culvert.
I-20 and 22, and what was the other one?
P-44.
P.
P.
P is in Paul.
Dennis, that R41, could you give me a location on that?
South of Corning, 2 miles, and then west a quarter.
So with that one down the bottom of the hump, okay, on the, I don't know what road that comes up, yeah, let's see here.
32nd,
32nd Road, okay.
yeah.
It's the one that got taken down.
By the drain card?
So these are all bridges that would have to have work done to them before the project can start? Would these bridges have to have work done to them before the project can start?
They're gonna jump. And Dennis, right on, I can't know, I don't know the numbers, the one on I Road, they are gonna put a jump bridge. Once the construction's done, then we'll replace it ourselves. But it's, right now, they're gonna put a jump bridge, they call it. 32nd Road, we'll put that one in as time will require, but they can go around it if they have to get by. Because it's out, it's down. Did they leave?
You want him back?
Yes.
Bruce, can you come back?
Yeah, what you need?
Or Dennis.
Or Dennis, if he's still there.
Which one's on I Road that they're jumping? What number? Is that
Nine.
R9? Okay, they're gonna put a jump bridge on that just so they
Just
can
to
get.
get them by, and then they're paying for replacement.
I understand that, they're gonna pay to replace it, yeah. And that's on I Road too, okay. Now what about N8? Where's it at?
Illinois Township. I'll have Kathy look at my notebook too.
Isn't that the one over there?
Oh, north of Chickasaw, almost a mile,
Yes.
and back to the west, east.
East.
Yeah.
So let me find that here.
That might have been on right east of H Road, I think.
You should have been 64. Yep. I'm going. Right there. So it's on 64.
And it's actually blocked off.
And it's blocked off also. Now, is there one of those deals that they can go around this one to get by, or we gotta try to get that one in?
Try to get it.
Okay. So walk in and it's on 64.
What's the status on the bridge north of Van Winkle's?
What's that?
What's the status on the bridge north of Van Winkle's? You gonna be something with that?
Hopefully this year sometime, right?
Okay.
I
hope so. Also.
Okay.
North of Van Winkle's right on that road?
Yeah.
Well,
But
we're
there
not
really wasn't
using.
travel all summer last year either.
I said, well, that's not part of what
No.
the construction
Has
is.
nothing to do with wind farm.
No, but it has something to do with local farmers.
Well, of course.
And I don't know about the one over there right east of Kelly and south. We got one closed over there too, Frank.
How far east?
Just at the cemetery or south.
Okay.
Is it needed pretty bad, Frank?
North Van Winkle's, yeah, for us.
No, the other one.
No, not that one.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I was curious, Mr. Neal had made reference several months ago about a sort of pre-approval of the road use of bridge agreement or the haul route and allowing special provisions for Nextera to start earlier than all the final documents being done. And I was curious, what's your current intentions at this time? Is there anything like that still being discussed, or is the project will not start until all documents are done?
They can haul up and down our roads, you know, anything that's, per se legal for anybody else to haul up and down. It's just the heavy stuff that we're, you know, they can't do until we get a road agreement done with them. So if they're hauling a dozer or an excavator up and down the road, it's not any different than anybody else that does the same thing.
But all the documents, the road use agreement was not going to be signed until all the documents would be signed. Is that correct?
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it's still a work in progress. We may, I'm not sure how we left that exactly, but there could be some split out. We may say agree to, which is hypothetical, because we aren't agreeing to anything yet, but maybe we'll take the road use and the decommissioning and throw them together. I don't know. There's certain ways we could do things in the negotiation process that could change.
Tim, what about it? I know you guys talked about existing fences, you know, timing of it. If they tear out the fence after the cattle are turned out, are they going to let a person know ahead of time if they're going to take out the fence?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a crew ahead of everybody. The roads and stuff will have to be done before they can haul anything up and down. I mean, some of the intersections have to be widened out. We can't make a turn. So, all I know is there's somebody called and wanted to help build fences, and they asked him, well, you have a crew of 10? And he just said, well, no, it's just me and my son per se, whatever. And he said, we'll have a crew of 10 that'll be building fences, or whatever it takes to get things back in.
You know, what if the fence is just part is not within the specs or whatever? If it's not within the location it's supposed to be, if it's too close to the road or whatever, are they going to let a person know so you can just go change the short end rather than have them tear out the works?
Well, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, it's your fence, it's not theirs. So there'll be people to contact ahead of time. Somebody's going to be looking this over. It'll be a system, and I would hope they're not tearing anything out that you don't know about.
Timing's pretty crucial there, you know, if you're going to be, timing's pretty crucial if you're going to be backing up into the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what about if a fence is too close to the marker, Center Road, you know, some of those fences 50, 60 years old, they weren't a problem for now. Is there going to be an allowance for that?
I don't know, you're getting into some legal questions that'll be hard to answer, but a little common sense takes us a long ways in these things, in my opinion.
That's what we hope.
You know, I'm not going to sit up here and say they can just do whatever they want, because they can't. It's going to be a system, and some of these right-of-ways, hell, we had a 3-mile stretch of our road in Newstone Township that was never opened. 2 years ago, we opened it. We had bridges, we had power lines, we had everything down that thing. Why it was never on our big map, but don't understand anything. So we could find that again. There's no right of way out there, so now what do? It'll be up to the townships and us to discuss and try to, and the local guys, to try to get a right of way set on some of these. And if the right of way is only 35, 40 feet on some of these roads, that's pretty small. Do we need to be at 50 feet? Most of them we do is the stuff we run up and down the roads now. It needs to be a 50-foot right of way. We don't have it on all of them. So, you know, will we have to be addressing that? We may.
And most of these roads that they're going to work on are going to be widened. Some.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't tell till you get there, but say a person on one side of the road keeps his fence, the trees cut, mows on it every summer, and the grader just keeps going over there. The other side might have trees hanging over the middle of the road. You know, it's not fair to the guy that has the clean side to lose more ground because of that.
Oh, that shouldn't happen. You got to stay in the center of the road. You know, stay.
But what he's saying is if the road's been moved over years, something to keep in mind anyway.
Exactly.
If a property line needs to be established, it will be surveyed and at no cost to the landowner.
Hopefully that process works a little quicker than what some of the other processes they've been going through too, because I know there's a lot of guys that are still waiting on reimbursement for damaged crops yet too, that have been promised since October. So something to keep in mind. It's like Frank's saying, you know, you start pulling down fence just so they can get through. If they're not going to have a fence going back up right away, that's going to be a very big hardship for guys wanting to keep cattle out on their own pastures.
I don't know if they want the liability of a bunch of cattle running out because they had put a fence out.
Right.
I would hope that, you know, there's liability on everything we do, so if they start knocking the fence out, yeah, that liability is gonna increase, the cow get hit or whatever, so.
There'll be boots on the ground ahead of time.
Yeah, so they're gonna try to, you know, they have to be ahead of the, I don't know, ahead of the curves, the right word to say, but, you know, we have the townships, I recommended that some person from each township get in a vehicle with our engineering firm and with an Nextera official and drive the roads, each township. So they know what they're, you know, they expect from the township, because the township is the one that's still taking care of those roads. We don't, as a county, that's a little different system. We're not a countywide system, we have townships, so, you know, the township guys are elected for a reason, and they take care of their township. I used to be a township official, and a county guy come up to me and told me, well, this is what we're gonna do, and you don't like it, too bad. That wouldn't fly. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, they'll have that you know, opportunity. They can ride around and take a look at things, and because where the entrance ways go for each turbine, they talked about putting a 48-foot entrance way in with a tube, then tear it back down to 24 foot. Well, it was brought up, one of the township officials said, well, just leave the 48-foot in. Well, I guess they will if they can. There could be some legal obligations that they have to take it out, wetlands, whatever. I don't know what it would be, but yeah, I wouldn't mind a 48-foot entrance into my field. My semi get in there a whole lot easier. So I guess that's what they're looking into, some of those entrances. Even the widening of the intersections, a lot of times they take it back down, you know, narrow it back down, so it's not, well, maybe that would allow them to leave it alone so you can make those turns with the semi so much easier now. I know with my 42-foot trailer, I can't make some of the turns on some of our township roads, so you just stay off of them.
Are the three commissioners going to drive some of these roads also? Are the three of you going to drive some of these roads also to see?
Everything we take videoed. As far as us driving, I guess we could drive our county roads. I mean, the township guys are the ones taking care of their townships. So yeah, I'll probably be the one, because I am the go-to person as a commission. I'll be in one of those vehicles somewhere along the line driving every one of them. I want to see what they look like. And you know, some of them, they're not very good. So to get stuff down, they're going to have some improvement. Brush, what have you, along the sides. Anything else?
I assume in the road use agreement, you guys are considering some sort of penalties, as some of the other counties in Kansas have done when they're in violation of agreements?
Yes.
Probably one of the bigger issues, you know, is going to be the roads that are dirt now. You know, how are they going to be set up for heavy use? You know, and we want a good base on them, because eventually we're probably going to have to take care of them somewhere down the road, and if we do, it has to be a good base, or otherwise, as many of you know, and as our experience has been, you know, like dumping rock at the end of your silo. It's there this year, but next year it's gone. So, you know, I mean, that's one of the things we're fighting for right now too. And Nemaha County is a little unique as far as roads and the difference in soil types and that part compared to western Kansas. You know, I mean, we've got a lot of roads involved. Most wind farms don't have that many roads involved. But
anything else?
Has any work been done on decommissioning, the complaint process, and some of the steps moving forward? The complaint for the decommissioning, I know there's supposed to be like some engineering work done on that. Has that been started?
Mm-hmm. Cook, light, totally up.
Yep. We've got people that are on board working on the decommissioning now. They've been working on it for a month and trying to get enough information gathered to take care of that.
Has anybody brought up comprehensive planning for the rest of the county today?
What?
I know you mentioned last week about talking to a...
Have not heard anything from them yet. And she told me, says we're in the process of doing a budget, you know, we're changing leadership, you know, it will be a little bit of a time, and yeah, it's on our agenda, yes.
I don't know about on our agenda, but we know all about it. It's going to happen eventually.
Well, I think it's really important that you're moving in that direction for the simple reason that I think all the people in the county need to be able to have a way to voice their opinions on what they want the county to look like in future generations, and I think through comprehensive planning and surveying people and giving them the opportunity to give answers for what they would like to see the future to look like is the best way to go. Otherwise, people are too afraid to speak up, and I'm not just talking about industrial land or anything of that nature. There's just so much in planning. When the city did this 25 years ago, it had nothing to do with anything except a plan by the community on how they want things to go, what they want the culture to look like, what they want to leave their children and grandchildren. And when you have a plan, and somebody can't say someday that, well, I never had an opportunity, everything was done behind closed doors, and that would be an accusation, but a plan. And it was even spoken in front of the committee a year ago, the Energy and Telecommunications Committee, by the developers, indicating that the state should not have to regulate this project. It should be the communities.
Thank you, Ms. Tufel. Our next conferee is Alan Claus Anderson with Polsinelli Energy Practice Group.
But this bill takes away the local control that Kansas has decided long ago was important to be down at the local communities where their values and their goals could be achieved and analyzed. That can't be done by government be out here in Topeka. It is impossible for this body to know, get the localized information required for those bodies to actually take into account their needs and their goals and their values. The system of local control of land use is in the Kansas Constitution, where it says cities are hereby empowered to determine their local affairs of government. We also added statute for the counties in the County Home Rule Act that provides all acts in relation to the property concerns of the county necessary to exercise corporate or administrative powers are held at the county level. And the reason we do that is because nothing is more local than land use decisions. When land use decisions are done, they are based upon the local community's goals, values, decisions on their own nuanced land uses, as well as where they want to go with that. Shouldn't be understood. This can't be done at this body. It is done at the county level, so they can take the input from the local in a way that is sensitive to their needs. This does implicate that, and it takes away that local control, and that is something we have long valued here in Kansas. So we put that down to the local zoning, and we require them to have a comprehensive plan. We don't just say they can kind of put words on paper and just pass something. Because of the due process and constitutional implications, we require the counties to have a comprehensive plan and a process to adopt those zoning. And with that, they look at all their local uses. They do a determination as to what they think is the values of their community and how they should proceed. We should not let those who didn't like the result they received at their county commissions to do it through the state process when they have both the process and the remedy to do that at the state level.
So, communities are struggling to do that. And they're being opposed strongly trying to do that. And it's the same people that are fighting that have indicated in front of the governing bodies in Topeka that that's what the people should do. So when they try to do that, they turn around and attack them. So it's legal to be able to zone out and make the plan of your community the way that the community would like to see it happen. So I think that we should have that opportunity in planning. A comprehensive plan is the only way it's going to happen.
Have we said that we're not doing it?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I mean, this is old news. You bring that up probably on a weekly basis. We are working on it.
I know you are, Tim.
Okay.
I just want to make sure.
Well, it gets a little frustrating.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. You're giving a speech back there right now that we've heard now time after time after time from pretty much the same people now. And there's two sides to every story. We are working on it.
I know you are. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make
time
sure.
to move on from that then right now. It's time to move on from that right now then. Anything else?
Public input. Everybody will have a chance for public input on that. It's a critical part of that whole thing. Yeah.
Very good.
Anything else?
I've had, for several months now, I've wondered, like the attorney's fees that we use for negotiations, they're being reimbursed by Nextera?
Up to $75,000.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask next. From what I read, there's $75,000 allotted in the term sheet.
Mm-hmm.
But we're probably burning a tremendous amount of that in the negotiation process, I would assume. So once we hit that, then anything over that is all county money that's going to have to be paid by the taxpayers?
Problem.
And if we have any issues later that we have to fight a case because something didn't go as planned with the agreements, then it's all taxpayer money having to foot that bill.
It's like any other thing. Not any different.
Yeah. I mean, my frustration was initially I heard comments made that we couldn't look at trying to fight this project moving into the county, let's say, because we couldn't use taxpayer money to do that because some of the citizens actually want it. But now we might be on the other boat that pretty soon we're using taxpayer money to negotiate contracts that are only benefiting a few in the county. And that doesn't seem fair to me at all.
Duly noted, as Gary used to say in his deal, duly noted.
That bridge will be crossed should we encounter it. Is all I can say.
We got other things we need to get done, so you got anything else?
I did have one more question. The tax abatement, when will that question be finalized as to what sort of tax abatement they're getting? I mean, I've heard them say several times that...
State of Kansas.
Yeah, state of Kansas. I don't know when they send that into them. I'm sure that's not done yet, but...
Can it not be done until the end?
I don't know.
Because to me, there's a big hole there. And is it being put off for some reason to take advantage of the loophole where the county thinks they're getting $33 million and we might only get $1 million? Ever? Or, I mean, I just didn't know if this couldn't be answered at this point in time, if it has to wait till the project's complete.
I can't answer that.
To me, that maybe should be one that should be looked at sooner rather than later.
I'm confused about the question.
Well, it could be a 10-year exemption. It could be like right now.
Nextera's got to apply to the state of Kansas to decide whether or not they get the lifetime abatement or the 10-year plan. And
that's determined in Topeka.
Yeah,
right, but is there a reason to keep it's not being addressed now or 3 months ago instead of being put off and off? I just don't know when. Why can't we have the answer?
Well, I don't think the state of Kansas will look at them until they have agreements signed with us saying they can actually put a wind farm here. You know, I don't think state of Kansas is not going to. They'll throw that out just as fast as they bring it in, I'm sure. But they've not turned anybody down on the lifetime agreement in Kansas, so there's no reason to assume that they will, but because I think this will be one of the last projects in the state of Kansas that's got the lifetime. After this, they'll all be 10-year.
Does that still fall under the full footprint that they currently have, or was that only from the initial footprint?
The footprint they have now.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Soldier
And
Creek footprint.
Jim, you know, back to your, the commissioning, that we have a strategic plan that they went through back in 2000, and as far as I can find, nobody ever followed through with anything. It was just money spent to solve somebody, but nobody ever did anything with it. And this is where we have to keep on top of this. If we get our plan and we go forward with that, we got to keep on top of it and use it for what it's meant to be. There's no need to get a plan, a strategic plan or any kind of a plan, unless we're going to use it. You know, and we've got one right there behind you in the thing for a strategic plan, and there was one, Brown County and Nemaha County together, that did it back in 2000 in that area, but nobody ever heard anything about it. You know, it was just a thing that was done, and I don't know why it was done. Nobody seems to know. But anyway, so if we get it, we do it, and we spend the money on it, I think we need to keep going, because, you know, the board here will change. The next board might say, oh, and they put it on a shelf and that's the end of it. Well, that's where we can't let that happen. You know, if we get it, we need to keep things going.
So does that mean the plan you have then now is there anything like regulations to guide commercial, industrial, residential growth here or there, wherever it wants?
I never read anything in there about that, no.
Well, I think that's what I'm talking about when we talk about a comprehensive plan.
I know, but it's got everybody's opinions, everything that we're talking about. They've got 10 or 12 different inputs. The county needs to do this, we need to have that, we need to have better roads, we need, you know, all the things we need. Some of them say farms shouldn't be able to be divided for housing. You know, I mean, there's pros and cons, there's both things. There's a lot of it in there. It's interesting, very interesting reading. But we're in the process. You know, we got a couple more people we need to talk to on this, and because of the holidays, it's been a little tough. Sure, Tim.
Anything else? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Can you get a hold of Rich or
Probably have
any of them's coming
time
in?
for one before the department.
Okay.
See if Rich can come
Whichever
in.
one. You know, I don't care. Of course,
You don't want to be here for that.
I'll just go down.
Okay, that'll work.
Because I don't think Nixie probably has anything.
Okay. There's 3 of them there, so.
I'll borrow one anyway. I'll bring it back, I just want to look at it.
Well, I think Dennis mentioned the road there on 64, well west of 63 Highway. There's a little wooden bridge there. It's built. 64.
Thanks for coming.
Little wooden bridge in there. I didn't hear him say anything about that one.
Great, okay, I just want to know if she had anything beforehand.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Everything's been looked at, I do know that, Frank.
See you, Alan.